What's going on, everybody? K to the 2 here with our Week 6 match of the PPL. We are now sitting at 3-2. Let's go ahead and talk about why this match is just about a week late at this point. So, what happened this week? Well, battle happened, got it recorded, and then Sony Vegas, every time that I tried to render, wouldn't render it. So I went back and re-recorded it once. Re-recorded it a second time just to make sure it didn't work. So what happened is last night I went, re-downloaded Sony Vegas, completely took it off my computer, put a whole new one in, same. Hopefully it's working. If you're seeing this on the YouTube, obviously it worked. But yes, that is what happened. Hopefully everything works out. But you guys will already know if it has worked out, so I'll stop talking as if I'm not already in the future. That's a weird thing to say. Anyway, we are going up against Rye. I will not have a team builder this week because, yeah, it's already a week late, and the match had already been done for a week by the time it got to Tuesday for the usual upload for the team builder. Team Builder will return for next week against Eric, aka Ashton Akai, so make sure to keep a lookout for that. But because I don't have a thing, what did I just call it? A team builder for this week, I'll probably go a little more in depth. I won't go in depth. Let's just talk about the 6 things that I brought. I brought a red card Toxapex with T-Spikes because I just really wanted T-Spikes, and I basically just wanted to be like, hey, please die. It's there as basically just death fodder. Just get up your T-Spikes, don't let anything set up on you, and then you're going to be good. The main reason I said that is because he has so many things on his team that could set up a sub in front of a Toxapex, and I don't want that to happen. Next up is a Hydreigon. What Hydreigon is this? It's Black Glasses. Because Black Glasses with Roost, because I just wanted a little bit of extra damage with the Dark Pulse. Next up, I have a Pursuit Trapping Aerodactyl with my Stealth Rocks on it. Next up is AV Dusknoir, because he just picked up Heliolisk going into this game. And it was between that and Serena. And I didn't really like Serena's... Excuse me, I'm still kind of sick as well. I didn't like Serena's matchup this game, to the point where I just felt like having it on the team was more of a liability than anything. So that's going to be Dusknoir there. It's AV, it's 4 attacks that hits his entire team super effectively. Next up is a Victini. I forget what kind of Victini this was. I think it wasn't AV. That's right. It was Fightinium Z with Focus Blast in order to take on a Lickilicky. So that's Victini. And lastly, we have a Calm Mind, Sub-Calm Mind with a Salic Berry Keldeo, which I felt was pretty good against his team as long as he didn't bring like Scarf Azelf or Scarf Heliolisk. So let's go ahead and get right into the match. I let off with Toxapex because as I said, I just want to get those T-Spikes up. And looking at lead matchup, if he does have something with sub, it'll probably be Garchomp. So I have Ice Beam for that, or Celesteela, which I mean, I have red card on this Toxapex, which is cool, so hopefully if he let off with Celesteela to get up like Sub and Leaf Seed and whatnot, he goes for the whatever. Okay, so here is me getting up T-Spikes. Is he led with Barbaracle, getting up his Stealth Rocks, and I don't have any hazard removal on this team, which is a damn shame, because that would have been really nice to have Rapid Spin on Serena this week. But as I said, it didn't really have the greatest matchup. So he's going to go for Bulldoze, not really do a whole lot, and the red card is going to activate as I went for Scald. Hopefully I can get a burn on whatever comes in. That would make my day. In comes the Azelf. It can't be Toxic. Neither could Celesteela, so I was hoping either one of them would come in, take a Scald, and get burned. No burn. So Azelf is going to go ahead and go for that U-turn, kind of an over-prediction, and I'm just sitting here like, hey, kill me, please. So we see that it's Life Orb. That's good information to know that the Azelf is indeed Life Orb. It's not Scarf, it's not E-Belt. No guessing about its item, so that's very nice. Now he goes into Heliolisk, and again, I'm just sitting here like, hey, please kill me. So I'm going to go ahead and go for the Ice Beam in the hopes that he does kill me. I don't even have Recover on this Toxapex because, like, please, just, I want this thing to die. So he's going to go for Volt Switch, and that's also going to fail to kill me. So I'm just sitting here, like, waiting to die, you know, kind of like all of Twitter. I should rename Toxapex Twitter because I just want it. Everybody wants to die, pretty much. That's how everybody acts on Twitter. So yeah, I'm gonna go for the Ice Beam here. No freeze, obviously, because he's poisoned, and he's taking some damage, and he's finally going to end up picking us off here with the Razor Shell. And right here, I believe, is where I go into either Keldeo or Victini. Obviously, I don't remember myself. If I go into Keldeo, it would probably be the better option. That is indeed what I go into. He had 0 switchings going into this game to Keldeo. And I'm just going to click Secret Sword, pick up the KO, and that's going to be kill number 1 for Keldeo this match. And down goes Barbaracle. Next up, he's going to bring in the thing that instantly becomes a problem to my team, and that's Heliolisk. Now, right now, I know that I have my free switch into Heliolisk in Plumpy the Dusknoir, which can take 2 Thunderbolts after rocks both times on switch-ins. So I would be completely fine in order to take this. However, he gets a crit, which means I can't come in on rocks and live another T-Bolt and still be able to do damage to this Heliolisk, which is a huge problem. It means that every time Heliolisk comes in, it pretty much now gets a kill. And this was the one thing on my team that I could even afford to bring for Heliolisk, which was great. Great news. So now I have to basically sack off the Dusknoir because it's used up its usefulness. So I'm going to stay in here, go for the Shadow Snake, and get as much damage on this Marowak as possible as he's going to go for the Shadow Bone. I didn't want to switch hard into Hydreigon in case he predicted that, go for Low Kick, and then I got off another Shadow Sneak in order to kill this Marowak, which would have been great. But indeed, that is not what happens. Now I'm going to go into my Hydreigon. I'm just going to click the Dark Pulse, pick up the kill, because his one switch into this is the Celesteela, but he doesn't know if I have like Z Fire Blast. Maybe he doesn't want me switching into Victini on the Celesteela. That could be bad for him. So what is going to happen now is he's going to go into his Celesteela, and I'm going to start clicking the Dark Pulse to gauge what kind of damage this is doing. Now, from the damage that you're going to see here, I cannot tell if this is fully specially defensive or Assault Vest. And from this Heavy Slam damage, that did a good amount of damage. So I can't tell if he has like some attack investment with Spadef, or if he's maxed out with the with the AV. And it's really hard to tell if he's getting low rolls with AV Celesteela or high rolls on Spadef Celesteela. So you're going to see here, I am going to Dark Pulse a couple of times. Every time I go for it, I just cannot tell. So he's going to go for a Heavy Slam. You're going to see it again. It takes me down just about another 50%. I'm going to go for Roost, just to gauge how much this thing is doing. And again, on this turn, he does just a little bit more than 50%. So I still cannot tell if he's just doing a tiny bit over 50% every turn or not. This turn, after this turn, I would have gone for the Dark Pulse. And the key word is would have, because as you're going to see from this Heavy Slam, we are going to get crit. And there goes Hydreigon. Now, staying in there was me pretty much asking to get crit. However, it's also me just not being able to tell whether it was SPDEF or AV. Eventually I found out, hey, you know what? After this turn, I'm just going to click Dark Pulse because I have nothing better to do. So it would have been a dead Celesteela, but instead, in 2 turns, it's going to pick up 2 kills as I go for the Calm Mind, and he goes for Explosion. So we lose Hydreigon, and we lose Keldeo to the Celesteela. I went for the Calm Mind there because I do have the Salic Berry. I was hoping he had like Energy Ball or just something to put me into Acrobatics range. Or not Acrobatics, sorry. Something to put me into Salic Berry range. I said Acrobatics because he had Acrobatics on his Celesteela in order to hit me. So he wouldn't be able to actually do that. So right here, I'm forced to go into Victini, and I only have Victini and Aerodactyl left, so I can't switch into the Aerodactyl at any point in any of these turns. I'm just going to go for the Blue Flare against the Heliolisk. It would have been great. It would have been great if I had Flame Charge on the set. Would have been absolutely amazing, because then I would have been able to outspeed the Heliolisk on the following turn, potentially even kill it with Flame Charge because it's so fucking weak. But instead, I'm just going to go for the Glaciate on this turn, pick off the Garchomp, and my only hope here is that Rai overpredicts, stays in, and clicks either Hyper Voice or T-Bolt, either one, it's the same amount of damage. But just guessing, hey, I can probably do enough damage to kill this Victini now, because the max roll on Thunderbolt does 82 damage, and I am at 83, but he is going to make the good play, sacrificing Differential, or it would have been a sacrifice to Differential if he didn't need to try to overpredict, but instead he makes the correct play. Volt switches out, putting Victini definitely in range to die to the incoming T-Volt. So Victini is not going to be able to do enough this match. It's going to go down to the T-Volt, and all I have left is Aerodactyl. So we are going to lose 1-0 this week, and that's going to put us at 3-3 on the season, which I'm not happy about, but you know, Hex happens. It definitely happens, and there's not really much you can do about it. So you can give yourself a little bit of wiggle room for games like this, for hacks to come in and kind of ruin your day. The T-Volt crit on the Dusknoir pretty much forced my hand into playing the way that I wanted to the rest of the game. Let's go ahead and pause this. Okay, or just play it again. That works. So yeah, if I didn't lose week 1 or 2, I would have been in a fantastic position. This one I'm not super mad about because it was still a really good game despite the crit T-Bolt and the crit Heavy Slam. The Heavy Slam I'm not too hung up about because eventually I was going to get crit by staying in and roosting over and over, and also I did get a flinch on him, so if I had gotten another flinch with Dark Pulse, it would have sealed it. I would have been able to stay at a good amount of health with Hydreigon, but I was trying to get at another good amount of health after that. So it didn't end up mattering. We lose 1-0, and good game to Raikou. That was his first win of the season, and of course it had to come against me. Anyway, that's gonna be it for this game. Go ahead and leave a like on this video if you enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time.